Okay, here we are. Day 5. This is January 6th. And our focus for the day, or our encouragement for you today, is to ask God to speak to you either in a dream or a vision or by impressions. Ask Him to give you a word from His word over what you are dealing with in life. And so we know that just about everybody, if you're joining in with us today and you're joining in on our 21 days, then there is something in your life that you need God to speak over. And so just be open to hearing the voice of the Lord. And I love this story. I'm going to read it to you real quick. During his youth, the boy Samuel was a helper to the elderly priest Eli, and at the Lord's tabernacle in Shiloh. One night while Samuel was in bed, the Lord audibly called the boy's name. Mistakenly thinking it was Eli, Samuel ran to the priest's room, but the priest said that he had not called the boy. This happened 3 times, and the 3rd time the old priest perceived that it was the Lord himself calling young Samuel. So Eli gave the boy good advice, in fact, timeless advice, and even for us today. And he instructed him to reply to the Lord, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Samuel did not go back, and Samuel did go back, and he did hear from God and began one of the Bible's most remarkable prophetic ministries by saying, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening."
Amen. Yeah, so that's the thing about fasting, is so that we can hear from God. That's the reason why we shut down the devices.
Amen.
That's the reason why we push back the plate or whatever it is that we're saying no to, because it's hearing God's voice.
Right.
That's what fasting is about. Sometimes people think fasting is about, okay, I'm going to fast so that my
Well, you're going to change
get
everything.
something.
Yeah.
And it's basically what fasting really is, Sharon, and I'm sure you already know this, is that it's just so that you can hear what God is saying.
What is
like
He
right
saying?
Here in this story, you can hear what God is saying, so then you can respond to what God is saying.
Right.
Because responding to that is what we really need to do.
Right.
He'll speak. What are you going to do with His voice?
Right.
You're going to respond to the voice of God? God, show me. The fasting is going to open up our ears, open up our eyes, so that we can see,
right,
that we can hear clearly, and then respond.
Right.
Like Samuel and Eli.
Amen. And then after you ask God to speak, ask Him to help you discern.
Right.
And I think that's what happened in the story of Samuel. He heard the voice, but he didn't discern that it was God. So I think during this time of peeling back, turning off the noise, we have to discern what is the voice of God. Right. You want to read James 3:14-17 for me?
Yes. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, of the devil. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere.
Amen. Yeah. So God's voice brings peace, even if it's a corrective word. Solomon's prayer was, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern the people and to distinguish between right and wrong, for who is able to govern such a great people?" So Solomon was even praying that he needed the voice of God. He needed to discern the voice of God.
Right. We all do.
We do.
Yeah. Without it, what do we have?
Amen.
We're just pushing back a plate or feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
So we
need to hear God.
Yeah.
Amen.